What's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of BH Brewing. In today's tasting video we'll be trying this one from the Sawmill Brewery out of New Zealand. This is the East Coast IPA, and apparently this one is super juicy and very tropical. So I look forward to trying it. Here we have it then. This is Sawmill's East Coast IPA. First thing to say about the head, there is none. It's pretty much dissipated. There's a little bit left on top, but not a whole lot. In terms of its other appearance, it is a beautiful, hazy, kind of light, kind of yellow, almost straw colour to it. It is a beautiful, beautiful, murky kind of colour, what you'd expect from a New England IPA, very typical of that kind of style. You probably might have seen this when we poured it out. You probably can't pick it up on camera, but there are tiny bits of sediment in here which looks like tiny little bits of hop. I don't mind that at all. I think a beer of this nature should be unfiltered. You know, this is not a style that is particularly, you know, filtered and clean and clear. It's not about that, so I don't mind that there's a bit of sediment in the bottom of there. Let's go with the aroma. The aroma is straight up mango. That's what hits me straight away when I stick my snout in there. It is a very, very strong kind of mango aroma to it. And then kind of just behind that you'll have these kind of stone fruits. Similar stone fruit kind of smell to what we had in the kind of Love Cats. It's kind of in the background of that. It's kind of like an apricot-y, peachy kind of in the background, and then kind of behind that you maybe get a tiny bit of papaya. I'm hinting at, very small, but I kind of do get a little subtle sniff of that. But mostly the main flavour from this is definitely mango. Let's go in with a taste and see if it's the same. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That is really nice. That is really good. It's kind of it's juicy. First of all, that's the one thing you notice straight away. It is very breakfast juicy, which is typical for a New England IPA, but it's done just about right. There's the bitterness there, but I find the difference between, say, this Sawmill East Coast IPA and, say, the Nebula one we had from Wild Beer, was that the bitterness is slightly less than this. You know, on the tongue, it doesn't taste as bitter. Maybe higher or maybe lower in the IBU scales, I'm not sure, but in terms of the actual taste on the tongue, it's a lot less bitter than the Nebula one from Wild Beer, and I think that makes it overall more pleasant in terms of its taste. The kind of flavour you get from that is, again, an amalgamation of kind of those fruits. There's definitely some mango in there, some pineapple. The stone fruits, not so much. I definitely kind of get that papaya comes through more. If you've ever had papaya before, it kind of leaves, it's almost like a little chalky residue. It tastes beautiful as a fruit, but in the background it leaves that kind of like chalky kind of residue. That's a little similar in terms of the chalkiness to this beer, but definitely in terms of the flavour of papaya, that comes through. I find it mirrors up with the rest of the fruit, so you kind of get that mix. You've kind of got the mango, then you've got a bit of the pineapple and papaya, not so much the stone fruit, but those three are the ones that come at me straight away when I'm talking about the mix of fruits in here. They're a lot more distinguishable than other beers I've had. Some beers, they're just a melting pot, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The melting pot is hard to pick at. This one, for me, is a lot easier to pick at the individual fruits. Again, it's kind of medium on the palate, medium finish to it. And the mouthfeel on it is probably, I'd say, medium as well. It hits kind of all the middle parts of what you'd want from a beer like this. It's not overly dry, it's not too sweet, it's not like a thin mouthfeel, it's not a thick mouthfeel. It's kind of slap bang in the middle of everything. And that makes it really, really enjoyable. It is like a very, very moorish beer. to what, for a beer that doesn't have any fruit juice in it or any fruit at all, this is solely from hops. Hey, that's pretty freaking good going. I'm a real big fan of that. That is very, very nice. If I was to put this on a rate beer scale, I'd probably rate this up there at the 84s. This is a really, really nice beer. I mean, it's beautiful. It is really, really nice. If you've got the chance to check it out, definitely do. Like I say, it's an unassuming bottle, but what's in there is what counts, and what's in there is bloody beautiful. It's Sawmill's East Coast IPA. Give it a go. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the like button down there. And if you want to see more content like this, me tasting beers, me brewing beers, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Cheers.